Thank you for having me and thank you for the opportunity to contribute to the local and regional government session of the 10th World Water Forum. I hope all of you have a wonderful week and I hope you will still find the time to enjoy the natural beauty and the uniqueness of this island of paradise. 3 days ago, I've just returned from the US to attend the World Bank Land Conference. So from DC to Bali, from talking about land to talking about water, the two fundamental elements that are inseparable from our lives. As the global population continues to grow rapidly, 10 billion by 2050, we will have to deal with land and water scarcity sooner rather than later. It is indeed one of the most pressing issues for humanity this century. By 2030, it is estimated that fresh water supplies could fall by 40%, and the world will need up to 60% more food than today. Without land and water, there will be no agriculture. There will be no food. So basically, without sufficient land and water, we are all doomed. These facts alone should have been more than enough for us to be united, to collaborate, and to take action. Now, add global warming and climate change to the equation. We simply cannot afford the price of ignorance and inaction. This year's overall theme, Water for Shared Prosperity, is relevant. It's very relevant because it embodies at least 3 interrelated principles. First, water management must always be oriented towards prosperity, which has a much broader meaning than material wealth. The scope of genuine prosperity also includes the state of success, happiness, and health. That is why, for the past 10 years, the Indonesian government has built various water infrastructures all over the country, and most notably, the building of 42 dams, which are aimed to sustain and to enhance our water supplies, irrigation for agriculture, industry, and home uses, and domestic uses. They are also utilized for hydropower generation, flood control, and disaster management, as well as for recreation, sport, and tourism. All of them will generate significant economic value added and growth, which in the end will contribute to the prosperity of the people. My second principle, fair accessibility, which is a manifestation of interspatial sharing. Water management must be implemented fairly to provide all citizens with equal access to drinking water and sanitation. One common issue faced by many countries is regarding the regional disparity in access to water resources. Some regions naturally have sufficient or even abundant water resources that make water inaccessible for their people. Given this situation, central and local governments must ensure all individuals and communities to have equitable access to safe and also affordable, sufficient water resources for their daily basic needs and livelihood. And the third principle is sustainability. It is the manifestation of intergenerational sharing. What we do and what we don't do today will shape our future. We want our children and our children's children live in a healthy, sustainable, and livable planet. Therefore, fresh water must be utilized and preserved properly. It should not be overexploited, even for the sake of economic development and growth. Mahatma Gandhi reminded us, the earth, the air, the land, the water are not an inheritance from our forefathers, but on loan from our children. So we have to hand over to them, at least as it was handed over to us. Excessive exploitation of water resources may improve the prosperity and fair accessibility for some people. However, it contradicts with the principle of sustainability. On the other hand, prosperity and sustainability can be attained for some groups, by some groups, through water monopolies or excessive water restrictions. However, they may hinder the fair accessibility of water for the wider community. Therefore, those three principles must be upheld by governments at all levels simultaneously and with a good balance, because that's the best way to realize the true meaning of shared prosperity. In order to implement the three principles of prosperity, fair accessibility, and sustainability, the central government or the national government must establish an institution with the authority and the capacity to integrate and synchronize all policies, strategies, and actions related to water management. And we can learn some of the best practices from countries that have established such institutions recently. For example, Canada in 2023, as well as Saudi Arabia and South Africa earlier this year. This so-called National Water Agency is aimed to tackle the imminent threat of water crisis. It should be agile and adaptive to be able to deal with an extremely broad dimension of water management, especially in order to prevent and mitigate the crisis. This agency should also be able to resolve the most common bureaucratic problems, which is ego-sectoral and also conflicting, overlapping interests among stakeholders. And at the same time, by providing effective leadership, this agency would be able to strengthen the cross-sectoral coordination and collaboration towards the attainment of water for shared prosperity. Finally, let us unite, let us collaborate through this prestigious forum. I hope we can come up with effective solutions and we can make immediate action. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.